Hello everyone. Today we are going to present a business case study on Shopify incorporation as a group project of our Fanshawe College. My teammates are Jhansi Reddy, Malkit Singh, and myself Sai Stone. So Shopify Incorporation is a Canadian multinational e-commerce company headquartered in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. The Shopify platform offers online retailers a suite of services including payments, marketing, shipping, and customer engagement tools. The company reported that it had more than 1.7 million businesses in approximately 175 countries using its platform as of May 2021. As of July 2022, Shopify is among the top 20 largest publicly traded Canadian companies by market capitalization. Total revenue for the full year of 2021 was around 4.611 billion US dollars. Shopify has acquired and launched a variety of platforms for innovation, which include Shopify Payments, Boltmade, Paystack, Frenzy, Tiny Hearts, Bluetooth-enabled debit and credit cards, Shopify Studios, and also entered into last mile logistics by investing in Swift. In September 2020, Shopify confirmed that there was a data breach in the company from around 200 merchants, and one of them had around 4,900 customers whose data was accessed.
Well, thank you, Sai. And for Shopify Incorporation's customer data leaking is a serious operational challenge. During the checkout process, this business gathers a lot of consumer data, and these databases are regularly used to store this data. This does not matter from the clients are if there's a data breach. Each nation has information privacy laws that every business owners must abide by because failing to protect clients' data might lead to legal actions and fines. Hackers act swiftly and put those businesses in the red which don't evaluate every transaction that is taking place in this company. And that is how the company's negligence helps the hackers to attack their data. Uh, Technology integration is very important to get rid of undesired possibilities. Second, to ensure accuracy and remove all the mistakes, personal informations, data about the customers must be protected on the digital platform. Every firm, no matter how big they are, is vulnerable to data breach and possible fraud due to the development of increasingly complicated equipment and rising understanding of technology. To ensure the privacy of the data, they must be upgraded. And let me give you an example that in 2020, this data breach happened in this company, and as a result hackers were able to access and take over 2 lakh 70,000 people's personal information who had just ordered hardware wallets. Besides, they got also access to data on more than a millions other customers who just subscribe to the company's newsletters. So here I'm going to talk about the technological based solutions. The first one is transport layer security. That is a widely adopted security protocol designed to facilitate privacy and data security for communication over the internet. TLS evolved from the previous inscriptions protocol called SSL, Secure Sockets Layer. And there are three main components to what the TLS protocol accomplishes: inscription, authentications, and integrity. So TLS should be used to protect both Shopify websites, web page, and information they gathered. This can also reduce the likelihood of data leak, and inscription should also be utilized for data kept on Shopify's servers or on the devices used by its employee. Data that has been effectively encrypted may not be particularly valuable to thieves if it's accidentally exposed. Implement multi-factor validations before allowing a client to log in, and their identity is validated in a varieties of ways using two-factor authorization. It's one of the most common method for this, and when a user enters a specific one-time key provided to the smartphone in addition to their password, because hackers could not access their profile because of the fragility of their credential. And the client who utilize 2FA are also less likely to experience security breaches when user accounts are compromised. So the another solution will be discussed by the side.
Thank you, Malkit. Now we'll move on to the second technological based solution, that is RSA algorithm. RSA was invented by Ron Rivest, Adi Shamir, and Leonard Edelman in 1977. These three cryptographers used the prime factorization method to achieve the one-way encryption of a message. The prime factorization method involves taking two large random prime numbers, they can be in billions or trillions, and multiplying them to create a public key. This message cannot be decrypted without knowing these two numbers. And knowing these two numbers is so difficult that the researchers have said that it might take around 1500 years of computing time for a normal computer to decrypt these codes. A significant thing making RSA tick is its simplicity. It's based on simple mathematical principles and can run faster. Therefore, RSA is ideal for securing internal organization security. Next will be taken up by teammate Jansi.
So the third technology based solution is the ECC, elliptic curve cryptography. So basically the ECC algorithm was actually suggested by the Neil and Victor Miller in 1985. Although the ECC algorithm was proposed for cryptography in 1985, it had a very slow start and it took nearly 20 years until 2004 or 5 for the scheme to gain importance. So ECC is basically a cryptographic technique based on the elliptic curve theory that can be used to create more faster, smaller, and more efficient cryptographic keys. So public key cryptography system like ECC uses a mathematical process to merge two distinct keys and then use the output to encrypt and decrypt the data. So one of the key is a public key that will be known by anyone, and other is a private key which is only known for the sender and receiver of the data. So basically this ECC generates key through the properties of an elliptic curve equation instead of the other traditional methods which use a prime factorization method to produce keys. So for a cryptographic representation, so the points along the graph that can be formulated using the equation y square is equals to x cube plus ax plus b. And this ECC uses the concept of a one-way or a trapdoor function. So this means that a mathematical equation with a public or private key can be used to easily get from point A to point B, but without knowing the private key and depending on the key size used, getting from B to A is difficult, if not impossible to achieve. So here are the few recommended solutions from all the above three technical solutions. So the foremost benefit of ECC is just simply stronger than RSA for key size. So the typical ECC key size of 256 bits, which is very equivalent to 3072-bit RSA key, and it's almost like 10,000 times stronger than a 2048-bit RSA key. So to stay ahead of the attacker's computing power, RSA key must get more stronger enough. So the second major advantage of ECC is that it requires very less processing power, which is CPU and memory, resulting in significantly faster response time and throughput on web servers when it is in use. So when it comes to the third main advantage, is that the ECC algorithm works on the elliptical curve discrete algorithm, which is nothing but a ECDLP, which means it is way more harder to crack for hackers when it is compared to any other algorithms. So the other main advantage is that ECC consumes very less computing power and battery resource because ESA certificate can hold up to 450 requests per second within 150 milliseconds average response time, where ECC requires only 75 milliseconds for responding to the same amount of the request per second. So by considering all the above advantages, we feel implementing ECC algorithm can be more beneficial for Shopify when compared to all other algorithms.
Thank you. Now we move on to the implementation timeline. First of all, we have to analyze the market about the technologies that are available for preventing these data breaches. Then we have to select an alternative that is best present out there in the market. Right now we are in this stage. Then we have to implement one of the technologies that has been selected, and then we have to track if there are any data breaches after the implementation of the new software, and then we have to keep monitoring.
So these are the business details of the Shopify incorporation after adding new ECC algorithm. So with the Shopify servers encrypting data, the new platform is anticipated to cost around $10,000, which includes maintenance charges. And apart from that, the employee training would cost almost around $2,300 and approximate for the company. So, but due to the decrease in administrative and physical ordering process, that will be saving due to the addition of this algorithm. So it will cost almost around 90,000 for the company. So by incorporating new features has a lot of advantages for Shopify, and adds security features that will protect the client and the company data, as well as leading to more savings.